Ben Johnson's not going to be the next Seahawks head coach. He's going to be staying with the Detroit Lions. Just want to give you a bit of instant reaction to that very quickly. So, it's disappointing. I wanted Ben Johnson to be the next Seahawks head coach just because when you watch his offense, it's innovative, it's creative. He gets the most out of his weapons. That is the thing that I want to see most from the Seahawks next year, but it's not going to happen. I think it's been a complete dog's dinner by his agent. There was a report a few weeks ago from Josina Anderson saying that he was looking for $15 million a year, which, as far as I'm aware, is more or less a top end coach's salary. And his agent pushed back on that and said it wasn't true. But why was Josina Anderson putting that out there if she wasn't hearing that from a good source? And then today, Adam Schefter's more or less said that the salary demands were a bit of an issue for some teams. It's probably one of the reasons why he's saying not so fast on Johnson to the Commanders, because if his salary demands were way beyond what they were willing to pay, then that would put cold water on that. And, sort of reading between the lines, it seems a little bit like, well, he met the Seahawks yesterday. They were also not willing to meet his salary demands, and therefore he slept on it. And then tonight, or today rather, as the Commanders were actually traveling to meet with Ben Johnson, he's made the decision that he's going to withdraw from the race. So I say I don't think his agents perhaps handled this the best. Maybe he's getting a lot of money to stay in Detroit. Maybe he is comfortable there. Maybe he thinks they've got a great chance to win a Super Bowl next year. They should be in the bloody Super Bowl this year. They chucked that game away. I don't know. There's a lot of things going into this, but it is disappointing because the one thing that I wanted most was for the Seahawks to be offensive driven, and I thought he was the best candidate to come and do that. To know you to get the best out of your weapons that you've invested in already. I'm not one of these people that thinks, oh, well, the offense is fine. You've got to get somebody who's going to lead the team defensively now. And I'd like to see the identity and the vision of the team be offensive minded and then get a complementary defense. As I keep saying, in the last 5 Super Bowls, all 10 coaches were offensive minded coaches. For me, I just don't want to ignore that. And yeah, so it increasingly looks like he's going to be a defensive minded coach. Now, I'm not against Mike Macdonald, and if it's him, I'll be intrigued by it. We'll see what happens. We'll see who his offensive coordinator is, and we'll see what the future of the Seahawks is under his leadership. It'd be an interesting move. The others just don't do anything for me. They're not exciting. The only offensive-minded coach that they've interviewed twice, other than Ben Johnson, is Mike Kafka. So is it going to be him? If John really wants an offensive-minded guy, if it's Macdonald who they're going after, okay. What if the Commanders appoint Mike Macdonald? What if Mike Macdonald does a Ben Johnson and pulls out of the race? Who knows? Seahawks are meeting with him today. Is that just going to mean they're going to end up with Dan Quinn? And, I'm seeing all this pushback from the media. Oh, you can't judge Dan Quinn on this and you can't do that. A lot of people holding water for Dan Quinn. It was never just about the Green Bay game, which was awful. And people are saying, well, he's not a bad defensive coordinator and he hasn't turned into a bad defensive coordinator into one game. It's like Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons hasn't come in with him to Seattle. And he had the LOB when he was in Seattle previously. And he had Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. For me, it'd just be such an average appointment. And a lot of the offensive coordinator types who were out on the market are not on the market. Kellen Moore, Arthur Smith, guys that at least have led teams to top 5 rankings per DVOA before, they've gone. So who would be his offensive coordinators? Is it Mike Kafka? Does that really float your boat though? And I don't know. Somebody messaged me earlier today, somebody I really trust, and said, you know what? If Dan Quinn's the next Seahawks head coach, there's something in this Chip Kelly thing that is not, that's not nonsense. That he could be the next Seahawks offensive coordinator. And that'd be a bit of a head in hands moment for me. That is not the innovative, highly productive offensive system that I'd be looking for. They are. Chip Kelly had a lot of success at Oregon when he had very fast players playing at a ridiculous rate, millions of snaps. Don't let a team settle. You're the better athletes. They smothered teams and it worked for Oregon. He went to Philadelphia and tried that and it collapsed. Teams sussed it out in no time. He went to the Niners, bombed there. He's gone to UCLA. Hasn't done anything special, has he? I don't know. I mean, like people would probably say, "Oh, well, he's worked with Zach Charbonnet and Jake Bobo." So It's not reason enough for appointing a offensive coordinator, is it? So that would be really, really underwhelming for me. So I must admit, I'm sat here today. I was kind of thinking Ben Johnson would excite me, Mike McDonald would intrigue me. The rest would just make me go meh. And I'm a little bit nervous right now to see what the Seahawks are going to do because, when they go into this coaching search, it's all good saying, they're going to go through the process and they're going to do all this. Sat here today, you do sort of wonder a little bit, is there something to sort of know exactly who you're going after and going and landing them as the Chargers did with Harbaugh? The Falcons made a call last week. They're not going to go with Belichick. They're going to go with Raheem Morris. They never let him go to Seattle. Sometimes sort of being decisive and proactive about it, despite all the people going, the Seahawks have done it right, waiting through this thing. To me now, it kind of just feels, well, who are they going to appoint? What's the basis on appointing this guy? Are they going to appoint someone off the back of interview? Should he really be doing that? Or should he be saying, this is the guy that we want, we've put an awful lot of thought into it, let's go and get him? And I was hoping Ben Johnson was going to be that guy, but he ain't. So, I don't know. And after 14 years of defensive-minded football, I kind of wanted to see something else. I'm just kind of poised and ready and waiting now for an announcement on Dan Quinn, which that would not be exciting. Anyway, let me know what you think about this revelation that Johnson's not going to be leaving Detroit. Put a comment in there. Give the video a like. If there is any breaking news on the Seahawks coaching search later today, I will do a live stream. Likewise, if it's tomorrow, I will do a live stream. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications so you don't miss any videos. It's going to be a big week. We are going to find out who the Seahawks head coach is this week. Maybe we'll find out today. So stay tuned to the channel, to SeahawksDraftBlog.com, and I'll see you next time.